Hello everyone, welcome to Business Toys. This is a summary video which I'm uploading for you to get a gist about our previous webinar, which was about how to make a rewarding career in data science in 2020. Briefly to tell you about myself, my name is Omkar Riker and I'm Global Head for Analytics and Research for Basil Analytics. I have 8+ years of experience in data science, in the end-to-end data science product delivery. So talk about the story, what we had discussed when we started with the webinar. The story will give you just about, what exactly is the data science and just for you to understand what the field is. So the story is about a pub and, let's have a look at the story and understand the story better. So we started off with a story as a problem statement for our today's discussion. So the story is about a pub which is based in the Paris, which was witnessing a decline in the sales and the profit. And the promoters of the pub did several marketing campaigns, but then the sales increase was not significant. But then promoter decided to hire a analytics consulting company to help them increase the sales, right? So consultant analyzed the problem and suggested a strategy which resulted in 30% increase in the sales, right? So the question that was asked the participants was, what could be the strategy, right? And you can just think, just pause your video and you can check what could be the strategy. You can think what could be the strategy, and I'll give you the answer. The answer is the consultant suggested to increase the music volume. Okay, to increase the music volume inside the pub. This was the strategy which was suggested by the consultant. Now, what do you think is a link between the music and the sales? Okay, what do you think is a link between the music and the sales? So the thing was, when they analyzed the entire situation, they found out if the music volume was loud, people talked less, and they drink more liquor, right? They also drink faster, right? Apart from that, once they get fully drunk, when they tend to leave the pub, so the new customers can walk in and they feel the pub is less crowded, because when there is a lesser crowd inside the pub, people will feel they will love to come. Otherwise, the club is too crowded and people don't prefer to come inside the pub. So the actual story inside this particular situation is that the sales and the decline in the sales and the profit was not because of the people were not coming to the pub. No, it was not the reason. The reason was people were coming to the pub, they were not purchasing anything. So we had a series of discussion, the series of questions which was raised to me, and then we came to the point that how they analyzed the entire problem. So the problem was the actual problem that they understood when they analyzed the situation, when they collected a lot of data by using multiple processes that we are going to discuss in our upcoming slides. The first thing is they understood that the people were just sitting on the chairs, they were relaxing, they were speaking to their friends when the music volume was low, and this led to the low alcohol consumption. And you know that alcohol is the main product which the pubs sell, which gives them a lot of profits, right? So when the music volume was loud, people talked less, they drank more, they danced more, so they got physically tired and they just left the pub very quickly. And this helped in increase the footfalls. So this was a simple, solution that this company suggested, and then the pub was able to make good business. So then the question which was thrown to the participants was, how did the consultant figure this out? How did they figure out that this is the problem and this is the solution that they are supposed to give? So this is what we termed or we coined as something called data science. This is they use data science for doing, data science can be used for doing providing solutions for such problems, and we call data science as the sixth sense of today's business decision making. All right. So then, we were discussing about how did the consultant do the research? How did he find out? How did he, come up with a solution? So what did the consultant do is he exactly studied around 60 pubs across different locations. He also saw, he observed the behavior of 500 customers inside the pub. Okay, and if who are visiting the pub, they did extensive survey to understand why do people actually go to the pub, right? And after that, they had also set up something called as a pub lab. Now, what is a pub lab? Pub lab is a kind of data collection simulation where you set up some data points, data collecting points at different locations. Like for example, there may be camera, there may be a MIS which is set up on the the liquor, which is the counter on which the liquor is being served, or it may be the observation, it may be various points, where, like, people who are coming, like number of footfalls that are coming in, falling inside the pub every day. So there are many points which can be analyzed, which can be collected, and this data was collected by doing a simulation called a pub lab. Okay. So these were the few of the facts that, when they analyzed the data which was being collected, when they analyzed the data which was, thrown by all the simulation, they understood one fact after analyzing all the data. And the fact was, you just have a look at this table with the three columns or three features. So we have in one of the column something called music level. We have number of units of drink consumed and the time that it took for them to finish a 250 ml of drink. Okay. So when the music volume was low, somewhere around 68 decibels, okay, the number of units of drink consumed was 1.5, and the number of units of drink, an amount of time that it took for them to finish up to 50 ml of drink was somewhere around 20 minutes, right? So now, if you see this, there is if you see the data for the music level and the units consumed, okay, the most important thing that you can see over here is if the music volume increase, the number of units of drink consumed is also increased. So that means there is some kind of a positive correlation between the music and the number of units of drink consumed. Okay, so we can say that, in the common sense, if you in a common layman term, if you want to coin this particular term, as you can call it as a directly proportional. So as the music volume increase, the units of drink also increase. Apart from that, this, if you see the relationship between the music volume and the time taken to finish a drink, it is inversely proportional or negatively correlated. So as the music volume increased, okay, so the time taken to finish the drink also decreased. So when you increase the music volume, you're achieving two targets. One is you're making people drink more, and you're making people drink faster. So that, as we have discussed in our previous slides, that if people drink more faster, they'll be there's no other work that for them to talk and all, so they can just enjoy the party and they can leave, right? So after this, they have also found some more findings, some more interesting findings, which now we can have a look. The first thing is that the talkers aren't the best drinkers. They found out that talkers aren't the best drinkers. And the second is, if you must have observed in the pubs, most of the times people decrease the music volume, and I mean to say the illumination levels of the lights inside the pub. So this is just to make it psychologically impact the customers who are sitting inside the pub, that now it's already a night. Okay, even though it is there a daytime outside, the ambience inside the pub is such that the light levels are very dim, and people feel more they feel that, okay, now it's nighttime, so we should have fun and we should go before the pub closes. So they also found out there is a significant correlation between the type of music that is played and the money that is spent. Right? This is very interesting one. The next one is the higher income earners had no significant correlation with the amount, the money that is, the money that is spent. Like for example, if you target only the high income group for coming to your pub, there is no significant relation that they'll spend inside the pub, right? And the last one is the loud noise can indeed affect the taste, the flavor, and the texture of the food. They also found that if the music volume is very loud, it can also affect the taste, the flavor, and the texture of the food, right? So then we came to the main point of our entire webinar, the 3-point agenda which I had spelled out. So the first one was the ocean of opportunities in the data science. The second one was the data science learning path. And the third one was top 5 tips to grab a data science job in during 2020. So let's have a look at the first point, that is the ocean of opportunities. I need not tell this because there are many speakers, there are many mentors, or there are many people who are doing the research on the types of jobs that are happening, that are coming up in the market. That there are opportunities, there are a lot of opportunities even during the times of COVID, though the recruitments have slowed down, but then there is a great future for data science jobs. And as you can as you can see here, in the Glassdoor research, which has been published, it says that the data science jobs are number one in the best of the 25 list of Glassdoors, right? Apart from that, there is also a research which is conducted, which has shown that there is a 400% increase in the demand for the data scientists in India itself, right? So these are a few of the top recruiters which I've just made a note, like who all are recruiting data scientists a lot. Okay, these are the companies like Microsoft, like Adobe. We have, we have the Vodafone, we have the Amazon. All these companies are looking for data scientists. They want data science to be an integral part of their processes. And these are the people who are hiring a lot. There are many, in fact, there are many recruiters who are looking for data scientists today. Now, apart from that, I'll just come to the next point now. That is the learning path. Okay, if you want to be a person taking up the data science career, or you are a data science enthusiast, how do you start learning data science, and what should be the path that you follow? Because you might see a lot of YouTube videos, you might see a lot of content which is being floated on online, but you should follow a particular path, and there are certain set of skills that you should acquire, which will land your job into data science, right? The first and the foremost thing is the strong foundation to statistics. This is the first thing that you should do, okay, before even you start learning any machine learning algorithms, or before even you start learning Python or anything. I highly recommend that you have a strong foundation to statistics. Okay, now maybe in my upcoming webinars, I may also talk about what topics inside statistics are most important for data scientists. So maybe the next one is the Python programming, or any programming, maybe R. You can pick up R, or you can use SAS. Okay, or some people have started implementing using Java, MATLAB, many. But I recommend Python because the community support is very big, and you get a lot of resources, a lot of open libraries which you can use for adopting in your machine learning or data science applications. So there are a lot of libraries which you can use. That's the reason, and also the community support, and also the ease of use of Python. The Python is a very adaptive and very user-friendly language. It's very easy for someone who is new to a programming world. So maybe you can start picking up Python programming for data science. Now Python is used for multiple purposes. It can be used for web development. There are some application developments which can be developed using Python. But then what exactly is relevant for us in data science? Maybe one more in my future webinars I'll be talking more in detail about what to learn under Python for data science, right? The next thing is that we're supposed to focus on is the strong understanding of ML concepts. Okay, the strong understanding of machine learning concepts. And it's not about the only traditional machine learning concepts like regression or decision tree, which are traditionally taught in a lot of courses. No, I'm not talking about that. See, those are important, but apart from that, there are some new machine learning algorithms that are being developed. So you have to check some research forums. So these are the algorithms which are much more better as compared to the traditional machine learning algorithms. And also you should be having a strong hold on the basics of how regression works. Okay, what are the various assumptions which are there in the regression? What are the time complexities and learning curves of various machine learning algorithms? I know these terms are a little bit heavy for you right now, but definitely I'll help you out in future, in my future webinars, in understanding what are the contexts and what are the important things under machine learning that you should be learning. So apart from this, you can go learn SQL and NoSQL. For NoSQL, you can pick up Mongo, or you can pick up Cassandra. Any of the NoSQL framework you can learn, and SQL, which is of course very important for you to extract the data. The next thing after SQL that you can focus on is a little bit of clarity on big data concepts, and especially inside big data, I focus more on a Hive, because a lot of companies use Hive for big data. And also, apart from Hive, you should focus on Spark. Spark is a very, very, very important framework. You should know Spark as a data scientist, especially if you're a person who is wishing to make a career transition into data science. Then a Spark is something. I'm going to say the professional who is making a career transition in data science. The Spark is something that you should be aware of, because many of my projects are based on Spark. So we use Spark MLlib and various other libraries which are there for like coding in Spark. I know even if I talk too much about Spark right now, it may not be good at this moment of time, but then at least I'm making you familiar with the terminologies that you should focus on, right? Or terminologies that you should know. Okay, these are the things that are supposed to be learned in series, right? Apart from big data Spark, you can also learn Tableau or Power BI. It's a data visualization tool or a BI tool which a data scientist is supposed to learn. Okay, now this is one of the integral part. This is one of the important thing that that is a part of our data science profile. You should be able to tell a story about a data. Okay, you should be able to tell what are the various insights that you're captured inside the data. And Tableau, Power BI, these are the tools which are even Microsoft Excel for that sake. These are a very important tools that can help you to present the data in a better manner. So apart from this, what other things you should focus on is a familiarity with the cloud environment. I recommend either of the AWS or Azure, so you can be familiar with any of these two. So especially how to deploy your this I mentioned in the next point, that how to deploy a particular ML model or a microservice into the cloud environment. Okay, so people expect you to be familiar with the the deployment aspects of the model. You should be knowing how you can support a Android developer or a web developer with the deployment processes. You should tell him that these are important things, or a pipeline of things that are important as far as the execution of the model is concerned, right? So apart from deployment, I then after you deploy, maybe you can learn deep learning before also, as after you learn machine learning. But then if you are someone who is learning the mathematical concepts like calculus, because some of calculus is required in deep learning. It's not like calculus using pen and paper, that we solve all the problems in pen and paper. No, we need to understand the intuition behind every concept, and the understanding the concept, the working part of that particular concept. So we should be learning deep. I recommend deep learning should be learned in the end. uh, you can prefer to learn it before also. I don't have any problem people learning it before. But anyways, these are a series of things which you are supposed to learn, and once you learn all this, perhaps these are the things that you should be learning. And you should be focusing on doing the project after you do all this. Of course, you should be doing a lot of mini projects in your way, but then one POC, one proof of concept project, is very, very important. I highly recommend, especially the people who are experienced, if you want to get into data science domain. Okay, the most important thing for you is to focus on the POC. You should build a POC, but this is just a learning path. Okay, and as I was telling you, the third point, the strategy. What should be a strategy for making the career transition during the COVID-19 recession? Okay, how can you claim how can you prepare yourself to get a data science job during this time, right? So here we go. The first thing is adopt the learning path, as I've already discussed with you. Learn all those tools, learn all those techniques. Okay, so there are various frameworks which are there for every every technique or every learning path, every component of a learning path, which I've discussed previously. So maybe what you can do is you can explore as of now what are the different tools and what are the different frameworks which are there. What are the different frameworks which are there which you can adopt for learning this different components of the learning path. Like for example, in deep learning we have something called TensorFlow and Keras, right? For machine learning, there are various libraries that you're supposed to learn, and that is something called the PySpark for using Spark. So you can check all these frameworks, you can check all these libraries, explore them, just do one by one. Take one stage, one phase at a time, and you can explore it one by one. Okay, the second part is build a strong POC. This is very, very important. As I was telling in my previous slide also, POC is a proof of concept. So you should basically develop a POC, which using which you can convince the recruiter that yes, you're prepared to get into data science. If you are prepared to get into the data science roles. Okay. The next thing is choose specialization. This is one of the very important thing that you should do, because data science is ocean. Okay. So somewhere you need to have a narrow down strategy. You should be focusing on the specializations like natural language processing, like we have like object detection, or there are various image processing libraries or various image processing tasks that people do. So in the end, you should be aware about the different domains which are there. So I'll be doing a specialized a webinar maybe in future to discuss about what are the various domains in which you can specialize under data science, right? The next thing is the dominant resume. Okay, the resume which will get your job, and the social profiles like get your GitHub, your LinkedIn profile. Okay, this profile should be very strong so that people can see that you have implemented so many projects, you know so many techniques. They'll come to know the quality of data science learning that you have had. So these are the things which I recommend. And apart from that, the last thing is build a very, very strong network, right? So networking is very important. You should showcase your work to your network. How you should build a network is just start connecting with different data scientists working across different companies. They'll be part of different communities, so you can be a part of that particular community. Participate in competitions like Kaggle. Okay, so you can participate in the various competitions which are conducted by Analytics Vidya. Also you can participate there, or various other such events where you can network with the people. That's most important, so that you can showcase your skills. People will recognize you, and that will help you to get a job. Now these are the 5 points, ABCD, as I've mentioned, ABCDE as I mentioned, like adopt, build, choose, dominant, resume, and the extensive networking. So that's it from my end, guys, for this particular webinar. And you can post me questions, because this is a recorded video of my same webinar. So you can just post a question to me. I'll be sharing my email ID with you. You can like in this post description, I'll ask the concerned person to share the email ID. And apart from that, if you want to get in touch with any of our mentors, or if you want to get a personalized mentoring session from me, or any of our network mentors, you can contact this Mr. Vashisht. He's a program manager at Business Toys, and these are his contact details. You can contact, and also you can check the offerings and various products which Business Toys offer. You can if you want to opt for any of the product, you can just have a word with Vashisht, or you can get in touch with anybody from Business Toys, right? So that's it from my end, guys, today. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you back in my upcoming the webinar session. You can be a part of our membership list for getting a free access to the webinars. Thank you so much.